So I've been getting a lot of emails in regards to whatever happened to the carrots that we were growing this year in the garden bed. So in this video, we'll talk about that, and I'll show you what exactly happened with those carrots. Hey folks, this is Grey here, and we're going to go a little bit over the carrots and what we did with those carrots. And the funny thing is I recorded us harvesting our carrots and some of the other work that we had did in the garden. And as we transition from our winter slash really super quick spring into our fall or into our summer garden, it's a fast transition here in Florida in Zone 9B. I mean, the temperature tomorrow is going to be like 95, 96 degrees. And here we are in May. So anyways, folks, what I decided to do this video is I have some footage of us harvesting the carrots and pulling them out and doing some work in the garden. What I'm going to do with that footage is kind of combine it into kind of like a little reel and put some, some music behind it and let you guys enjoy that footage. And then we'll come back to me and we'll go over what I got going in the garden for this summer, a couple of things that I want to let you guys know that's happening in regards to the garden, and some of our plans and whatnot. And I don't want to kind of keep you here just talking with this talking head format. So we're going to get out in the garden. But first, like I said, I'll roll that footage. I guess as, what is it? Is it roll that beautiful bean footage? And roll that, and then you can see what I did with that. The only thing I didn't record is we did can the carrots that we pulled out of the garden, or I canned them. Very strenuous process for me, as again, I'm new to canning, but I learned a lot from YouTube, as I'm assuming a lot of you folks do as well. But other than that, folks, we'll do that, we'll roll that footage, and then we'll take a trip, like maybe a little quick garden tour of what we got going on, and then I'm going to share some information with you because we have something new happening this year in the garden in regards to our summer garden, and should be pretty fun, so stay tuned. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that part of the video. Now on to me rambling about the garden. As you can see, we did a lot of clearing out in that video, and some of you folks may be asking, what do we got going on here? And we'll discuss that. So this should be a relatively quick video. I'm going to explain what we did here, as well as in the second garden bed. And believe it or not, folks, something that's really cool is a company reached out to me and asked if I would like to, put together and use one of their garden beds. It's made out of metal, but it does have it kind of like a wood look, a darker color wood. It is a 4 foot, so basically the same size as these guys. A 4 foot wide by 8 foot by 2 foot garden bed. I haven't decided where I'm going to put it yet. I may put it out here where it gets full sun, or maybe we'll push it back over there. Anyways, so what we got going on here is sweet peppers. I love sweet peppers. I don't know about you folks in general, but I truly love sweet banana peppers, and that's what these guys are. Now, I've had some good luck and some bad luck with sweet banana peppers. They usually get about 8 inches long, and they can be very, very bushy if you do your plants right. So hence the spacing on these guys right now. Roughly, they say you should push them out 18 inches apart and give them space to grow. They like direct sun and lots of water, so that's going to be the key thing here. I'm actually thinking about implementing in both beds an irrigation system. I haven't decided what type of irrigation system I'm going to do, but I'm doing some research, and drip irrigation is probably going to be the best bet. Something that I can play with and keep these things watered throughout the summer so that they have a continuous feed of food or water outside. Now, I don't mean food like in fertilizer in regards to that matter. But anyways, so when it comes to this, if you guys are interested, I can take you through the journey of my pepper plants and how I'm growing them. Because with pepper plants, a lot of times when they get about 6 inches, and these are probably, I don't know, let's say they're probably about 3 inches or so, but usually when they get about 4 to 6 inches, I'll start topping them. And I've already topped this one already once, just because whenever I see, like, see this down in here? I don't know if you guys can see that. Looks like a little bud. So I come in there every morning and I start taking any buds that I see, because I want this thing to focus on growth. And the more that I top these pepper plants, the more bushier and bigger they'll get in regards to being able to produce for me. Usually what we do is we'll can the banana peppers and do that kind of stuff. Sometimes we'll freeze them as well. Outside of our hot peppers, which we usually dehydrate or make into powders and stuff like that. But those are just some of the ideas and things that I do. So the wife is still holding on to her precious yellow pear tomato. She's cleaned it up pretty good, but we'll see. She wants to see how long she can keep it going for. It's still doing pretty well. I gave it some nutrients in the process of redoing all these beds and removing the carrots that were here along there. I mean, I was very, very ecstatic how well the carrots did. And our Brussels sprout plant is still going on. I'm gonna have to attach this in a different manner. And a lot of people ask me what these are, and this is just to keep the dog out, because for some reason our dog likes to be a vegetarian half the time and come into the garden beds and eat our stuff. But there's a bunch of other things that we're going to end up doing. I want to let these guys grow a little bit and then kind of decide on my spacing and what I want to do further on and what are the things I want to add to this bed. They're going to be definitely more summer crops. I think we're going to be looking at more heat resistant tomatoes as well as some other things. But let's move over to the other bed over there and talk about that one. So this bed is usually, basically in this bed, what we do in here is we add a lot of herbs type of things or spices or any of that type of thing like that we add to this bed. Also our pollinator plants. But for the summertime, I try to grow things that are going to be something that we can use, but also that has really good ground cover. Now I'm going to scare some of you folks with some of the stuff that I got in here, because if you're familiar with some of these plants, a lot of this stuff like this down here, these are a variety of mint plants that I have here and over here, as well as over here is a different couple of types of mint that we have. And the reason I'm doing this is, of course, you guys know mints can take over a bed in no time. So what I'm hoping is that the mints will do some really good ground cover over this and kind of protect the soil until we get time to do our fall garden or winter garden again. Anyways, moving on past that, the wife did plant some things. Let me see if I can get out of the sun and give you a better view without my shadow being in the way. So I don't know if you guys could guess what type of plant that is there, but it also makes another great garden cover kind of plant, which is English thyme, something that the wife likes to use in her cooking. So we get a couple of those popped in there, and those will, of course, will start to spread across the bed, just like the mints and stuff like that. Rosemary, she is the gift that keeps on giving. She is beautiful. We use a lot of rosemary, so we're constantly taking off the rosemary plant. As you can see, she is doing very, very, very well. And of course, we still got some of our pollinators over there. Bees seem to like purple because of their vision. I always tell people to research that, the way bees see, and for some reason purple, reds, and those type of hues really, really attract bees, and bees are our top pollinators in these areas. And again, the wife is still holding on to life of this dear last cabbage that we have to harvest. It's almost ready. It's getting there. I told her hopefully the bugs don't destroy it. Now here's the hard part, because she planted what you see here. And these are all different types of hot peppers that she likes. And a lot of folks are going to say, well, you know, when you keep your peppers that close, they're going to cross-pollinate, which I told her, but she said she doesn't mind. She doesn't mind getting some weird peppers here and there. Let me see if I can find some of the names for you of these pepper plants here. So let's see what this one is. This one is a shishito sweet pepper. That's what that is. Oh, there's a flower there. And we don't want flowers right now, folks. We want to make sure that if we see a flower, we want to take that off there, because we want the plant to focus on growing. And these are going to need to be topped as well. We got a couple sitting here across here, so that's looking good. I'm going to split. Oops. This is already trying to grow a pepper down here. Look, I'll show you guys. Look at that. And we don't want that just yet. We want it to focus on growing and getting bigger, stronger, getting its root system situated and whatnot. And we like to keep on topping it to kind of push these things out a bit. And we'll see where it goes. It's just very beneficial to the plant. And so I've asked a few questions, and I even talked to Jeff, one of the viewers, subscribers on my channel. You know who you are, Jeff. And I said, why do, when you buy these starts, half the time do they have like these, you know, some of them have peppers on them and tomatoes on them and stuff like that when you go to like Home Depots or Lowe's or places like that? And he says it's probably because of the stress. The plants are just trying to reproduce, so they're doing everything they can, so they're shooting at flowers and peppers and tomatoes and whatever the start may be. Let me see, what do we got over here? Let's see what she got here on this one here. I think this is the two. Are these the same plants? Let's see what her markers are. So what do we got here? I'm trying to find out. This is a Fresh Bites orange pepper, which is one of her favorites. They're doing pretty good. This one looks like it's getting some stress here. Probably have to pull these leaves, but they need to be topped as well. So she has those two kind of sitting next to each other in this corner. And then we have one more. As I'm looking at it here, I see another flower, a couple flowers on here. So you gotta kind of stay on top of this almost all the time when you first put these things in. I'm seeing a bunch of them in here, just trying to pop them. Usually I let her work on this because she gets mad if I do all the gardening, and she doesn't get an opportunity to do so. Anyways, that is what is this one called here? What is this pepper plant here called? Poblano Ancho hot pepper. So that's what's in that one. And a lot of people in the summertime will grow pepper plants. But as you can see, there's lots of space in here. Let me give you a little backstory of this pepper plant right here. First, let me get into what it is, and let me make sure I don't get this wrong. This is a Gypsy Mini Bell, what she has over here. The rosemary's getting in the way of that, so let's kind of go real close to this plant. I don't know if you can see this break right here. So the pup that we have stepped on this plant and snapped it, basically topped it for us. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it kind of heal up a little bit more. It's doing pretty good. As you can see, it's already shooting more shoots out. But I'm probably going to go ahead and take this leaf off here and kind of let that plant do its thing. But I'm trying to let it get a little bit more stabilized before I go too much on it, because it's already been through a lot of trauma in regards to after we planted it in. Anyways, so that's what she's got going on over here. And we kind of like to split our duties between beds and whatnot, but I do help her a lot because she does work many hours and doesn't have as much time as she'd like to. But she is getting some time this summer. She'll have about 5 weeks off during the summer. So it'll be a lot of fun doing videos with the missus and doing more work in the garden. But as you can see, that's another one of our pollets. So my daughter planted that one there. Every time I put my finger in the frame, the camera wants to focus on my finger. Why? I don't know. Anyways, that's just another one of our pollinator plants. Don't ask me what kind of plant that is. My daughter put that in and it's just kind of spread, and I keep it alive for her. It's funny because it does these pink flowers, but it also does white and yellow. And I wish I could tell you. If any of you guys know what this is, don't be afraid to put that down in the comments. If you guys have some of these maybe growing in your garden beds somewhere. I don't think it's any type of medicinal or any type of plant. I just think she liked the way it looked, and she snuck it in while we were doing the garden bed last year. Anyways, let's go ahead and move around a little bit. We'll cut over here to one of the cuttings that my wife had from her eggplant. She replanted this one. She removed it from here. Even though we thought we pulled it, this kind of had a little surprise and said, hey, I'm not done yet. And so she replanted over here, and we'll see how that works out. Because the original eggplant over here, if you guys remember, that monster is right here. And she winterized it, but I don't think it's, honestly, I think it's dead. But the wife likes to keep on doing things sometimes, and so be it. If it works out, it works out. We'll see if it does anything. But I'm kind of looking at the inside of the stem. I don't know if the camera focus on it. And usually plants, you can tell if it's like dead by that, but it doesn't snap off. So I don't know. And believe it or not, folks, this tomato plant came out of nowhere. It happened to, must have either the dog or the birds must have taken a tomato and dropped it in this bucket when we had it over by the other fence. And it is a yellow pear, and it decided to grow. So we decided to leave it and let it do its thing. All right, you know, let the plants that they really that determined to grow, let them grow. One thing I did want to show you guys, if you guys have been following the channel for a while, we're finally starting to get, this is kind of hidden over here. We've been trimming it. This is 3 years old. 3 years old, and we're finally starting to get some blueberries, or not blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. If I could only get things right, blackberries starting to produce on our plants. As you can see up here on this branch, and if I pull this one all the way up here, you can see we even got some up there. This thing has died so many times and come back, and I've done a lot of research, and usually you got to get several years in before it starts to produce. Well, I guess it's been long enough. Even in this heat, it's starting to produce. My apologies about the background noise. I have no ideas. People, you know, mowing their lawns and whatnot. And of course, this is the elderberry bush, and I'm hoping that this thing will produce this year. Again, it's kind of been like the blackberry where it's died off and came back, died off and come back, and every year it comes back stronger, stronger, and stronger. And then over here, where is that? I have my hidden pepper plant. As you can see there, look, we got a bug. Who would have thought a bug on a pepper plant? Look at that. Let's see if I can get that to focus on that bug there. Look like a squash bug. Anyways, but as you can see, the heat has taken over, so it's starting to produce again. This plant here is about 2 years old, and it is a heirloom Tabasco plant, if I recall correctly. And every year it seems to bounce back, and we get to harvest all these little peppers from it. But outside of that, that's a wrap, folks. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day or your weekend, whenever this video happens to drop. As always, thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch my videos, leaving a comment in regards to what you guys are growing this year in your spring gardens or summer gardens, depending on where you're located at in the continental US or abroad. I always like to read those. And if you guys have any ideas of things that work well for you during the summer or the heat, let me know that down in the comments. Maybe I can throw something in here in one of the beds to kind of grow as a viewer suggestion or whatnot. Outside of that, folks, remember, you are not alone. This is GreyMan. I'm out. I'll see you guys in the rebound. God bless all you amazing folks out there. And again, thank you so much for watching these videos.